Good morning, guys. In the last class, we discussed about J meter. Sorry. So, what is the purpose of J meter? J meter we used to implement performance testing of the application. What is performance testing? Performance testing is the process of testing our application stability and responsiveness. How our application is responding when multiple users access that. If one user access, what is the average response time of the application? If 10 users access, what is the average response time? If 10,000 users access at a time, what is the average response time? When our application is failing, what is bottleneck of our application? When it is going to fail? That failure point of the application we are going to understand by using this performance testing. It is the process of testing our application stability and responsiveness. So in order to do the performance testing, we cannot hire the employees because I want to test with 1,000 users, 10,000 users, 20,000 users. We cannot recruit those many people to test the performance of the application. So that's why in order to implement performance testing, there are several softwares available in the market. By using those softwares, we can create virtual users and we can test our application. One of such a tool is Apache JMeter. So Apache JMeter is an open source and free software. This software is developed by Apache organization and it is developed using Java language. So by using this JMeter, you can create the users how many you want, like threads. If you want to test with 1,000 users, we can create 1 lakh users also we can create to test performance of the application. Right. So this JMeter is a standalone application developed using Java language. It is developed by a company called Apache. You can download it and you can test the application performance. The alternate for the JMeter, if you want a commercial software, then we can go for HP Load Runner. All right. So fine. Once you download this software, you can see one file called jmeter.bat file. By using that bat file, you can run the JMeter. Then you can create test plan. Then you can create a thread group inside the test plan. In that thread group, you can create a HTTP request to test our application. Then we can add listeners to monitor the results of the testing. How many requests we sent? What is the minimum response time of the application? What is the maximum response time of the application? We can get it by using summary report. What is each request? What is the response from the each request? We can get it by using view results tree. So with this, we understood how to implement performance testing for our application. Now, what are the things that are pending in our JRTP, guys? What things that we need to do to complete our project? I want to hear from you people. One is major project, APIs we need to develop. Okay. Angular project that we need to develop. What is the topic currently going on in the Angular? Components are going on. After component, services will be available, templates will be available, data binding will be available. I think another 10 days it is going to take to cover the services and dependency injection, HTTP client module, and templates will be available, data binding will be available, routings will be available in the Angular. I think it will take another 10 days of time to complete the syllabus related to Angular. Once that Angular topics are completed, then we need to integrate our backend APIs with our front-end application. That will become a full stack project. So are you guys ready with the major project APIs? So few people completed the APIs, few people did not complete the APIs. So what is the plan for that? Do you want me to develop or you will complete it? Will you develop those APIs or you want me to develop the APIs? You can develop this. So what about only one person responding, remaining people? Anish Gupta is saying he will develop that. What about the remaining people? If you want me to develop, I don't have any problem. I will do it. Daily one API we can complete. So admin API, that is CRUD operations, how to create the users, how to create the plans. AR API, that is third party integration. DC API to collect the data from the citizens. ED API to determine eligibility of the citizens. CO API to send the correspondences for the citizens. Benefit issuance to generate the file with the benefited citizens that we have. Reports API is available. I think 6 to 7 APIs that we need to develop for our major project. Then Angular front-end project we need to develop. Front-end should be able to communicate with our back-end APIs. These things are pending. Apart from this, anything else? Major project, back-end APIs, development we have to do, Angular application we have to create, front-end and back-end integration, front-end and back-end integration that we have to do here. Next, apart from these three, anything else which is pending? Any tools that are left, guys? Can you check in the syllabus?
Postman.
Sorry?
Postman.
Postman tool. I think we used Postman several times, right? Postman we used several times to test our backend APIs. Okay, when I am going to develop backend APIs for the major project, at that time we will use Postman to test our backend APIs. Gradle. Okay. Yeah, Gradle. I think Gradle workshop we conducted. Yeah, initial days we conducted, I think, a Gradle workshop. Fine. So it is, I think the video is also available. Gradle workshop we conducted 5 months back. 5 months back, we already conducted a workshop on the Gradle. 2 hours we discussed about Gradle. Already we conducted a weekend workshop on the Gradle tool. Spring batch. Spring batch we discussed in the class, right? In the Spring Boot classes, we discussed the Spring batch. Cron expression, Spring scheduler. Okay. Spring scheduler. Spring scheduler with cron expressions. Spring scheduler with cron expressions. Postman, it's just basic how to test our backend APIs. When we develop the backend API, then we will use that Postman tool to test the functionality of our backend applications. Okay. Jacoco. Did we cover Jacoco? In the Spring Boot, I think I have seen we discussed what is code coverage by using Jacoco. Yes, I covered Jacoco already in the JUnit classes. I explained JUnit at that time. We used Jacoco also. We covered the Jacoco. Spring scheduler we covered, but there is some confusion with the cron expressions. We will see them once again. Correct. That is Jacoco main purpose is to generate the report. That's it.
Sir, exception handling is remaining.
1 minute. Sure. Okay. We will see that. I mean, okay, we'll revise that once again. No issue. Jacoco. Swagger we already covered, which is used to generate the documentation of our API. Swagger we covered several times. We developed that Swagger config class multiple times to generate the documentation for the API. Kafka 1 class. Okay, then no problem. Yeah. Have you gone through that video? Yeah, that YouTube video is there for Kafka, and class video also uploaded to our portal. Yes. Okay. Anything else, guys? Gradle, I can remove from here. It's not required.
Sir, exception handling.
Sorry.
Exception handling.
Kafka URLs are not working. 1 minute. Okay, let me check it once. If they are not working, then we can do one thing. We can run the Kafka server by using Docker Compose. In the mini project, there also we implemented that routing configuration we have done. 2 APIs, welcome API, greet API, routing we configured. In the major, just you want same process, right? If you have 7 APIs also, you just need to edit that configuration file. When we develop the API, we will configure it. So whatever the name, whatever the load balancer URL, you just need to change that file. That's it, nothing else. So Kafka URLs are not working. This is the URL to download the Zookeeper. Yes, you can download this Zookeeper file. Not able to run the server. Okay, we will see that. Once again, we will download them and we will run those servers. AWS nodes is not sent. Okay, uploading the nodes related to AWS. Do I have that here? That is an Excel file. Query log is just a Excel file which is used to store our doubts. Whenever you read the FDD document, whatever the doubts you will get, you will keep in the Excel file. Here Linux nodes is there. Linux commands, EC2, IAM, S3, Route 53, domain mapping. For AWS, separate nodes I have to share. That is there in my laptop, guys. I will share that notes for AWS, what we discussed. Okay, AWS notes. I have to upload the notes for AWS notes. This is one pending item.
Sir, Putty and WinSCP tool.
Putty we already used to connect with Linux machine. Yeah, put mobile extra Putty. Right.
Okay, sir.
Putty and mobile extra. Yeah, these are tools that are used to connect with our virtual machines. Correct. My Angular videos, they are in our YouTube channel, sir. Already my Angular, I think 2 years back, I conducted a free workshop on the Angular. Those videos are already there in our channel. I will share the playlist of that. My Angular videos playlist is available. I will share that.
Hi, sir.
Yep.
Sir, can you conduct one session on transaction management and internationalization?
Sure. Notes uploading, this is simple thing. We will do that. Major project development, Angular application development. Front-end and back-end integration we have to do. Postman tool. When we are developing these APIs, we are going to discuss about this Postman tool. Without Postman, we can't test our API. Code coverage integration by using Jacoco. Apart from these things, anything pending? Apart from these things, anything is pending, guys? Internationalization. Swagger we already covered, Ranjan. Internationalization, yes, we can see one example with I-18N. How to develop a web application with internationalization. Internationalization, nothing but internationalization. Internationalization, basically a concept of displaying our application in multiple languages. If you go to Google, here Google by default coming in the English. When I change it to Hindi, the matter is changing to Hindi. That is called internationalization. If I go for Telugu, it is changing to Telugu language. If I go for Kannada, changing to Kannada language. Marathi, changing to Marathi. English, coming everything in the English. So this is called internationalization. When we are developing application for global users worldwide. So now people will use the applications as per their language, right? I don't want to force everybody to use application only in the English language. So if I want to attract global customers, our application should support for multiple languages. So the process of developing application with multiple languages, when I change the language, application content also should change. When I change a language, you see, I'm feeling lucky, displaying in the English. When I click on Hindi, now, आज मेरा किस्मत अच्छी है. It is changed to Hindi. When I change it to Telugu, then I'm lucky. So that is coming in the Telugu language, right? So this is called as internationalization, which is called I-18N. How to develop one web application using Spring Boot with a I-18N concept, that is internationalization. We will discuss one example on this I-18N topic. So a simple web application we will develop with multiple languages. When you change the language, application text, application content should be changed into that particular language. That is called I-18N. Good. Next. Displaying the application as per user preferred language is called as internationalization. Reactive programming. That means application should execute based on the events, non-blocking threads, basically. I don't think so. Reactive program, no, I did not explain that. No. Reactive programming with mono and flux objects. So reactive programming, that is a new concept introduced in the Spring 5.0. It is used to execute our application with the non-blocking threads. Running our application with the non-blocking threads is called as reactive programming. Okay.
Sir, one example on using JWT token.
1 minute, sir. Yeah, tell me.
Yes, sir. One example on JWT token using, sir, a client side.
You want to develop one application which will access a REST API which is secured by JWT?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Using client and provider both, sir.
Okay, cool. Client application development. Client application development to access secured REST API. That's it, no?
Yes, sir.
How to develop a client application which is used to access secured REST API. Okay, good. Next. Shubham Tripathi, sure, I will do that, sir.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Sir, you upload wrong Redis notes to
For
portal.
what?
Redis.
For Redis cache notes not uploaded?
It's uploaded, but it's a wrong one, sir. Please check
Wrong
it.
one. एक बार check करता हूँ. Okay, complete code is not available. Na? Yes, I will correct that, sir. Redis notes, I will collect it.
After that, sir, I have one question.
Yep.
Sir, when we use the security,
Mhm.
means a user detail service, there means here the authorization is not working.
User
It means
detail service.
role-based authorization is not working properly, sir.
I will check that. So why it will not work? We developed that project also, na?
But you are using JDBC. When I
हाँ.
used DAO authentication, it is not working the role-based
Okay, so
security.
एक बार
Why
आपका
not?
Git repository share कर लेना, मैं देखता हूँ उसका प्रॉब्लम क्या है. हाँ?
ठीक है सर, ठीक है.
हाँ.
Good morning, sir. I have one question regarding
sir.
the Kubernetes. So we have, as of now, we have not covered Kubernetes. So we are going to means in further days we are going to see that
Kubernetes we
sir.
covered, sir. Kubernetes we have done the EKS cluster setup. We deployed our application, and we deleted the cluster also.
Okay. And what about the Kafka?
Kafka I covered in the boot class, Spring Boot class. I think some people did not attend that. I have uploaded that video. Can you
Yes,
go through
sir.
that once?
Okay, sure, sir, sure.
Yeah, because I have taken the
when
class
you have
on the Kafka.
Okay, you have covered in the, I think, Spring Boot, but I'm unable to attend that. But you have uploaded the notes. I will see.
Yeah, I have uploaded the notes and uploaded the video also in the portal. Please go through that
sir.
once. If you are not able to understand, then we can discuss on it.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Mini project running nodes. Saurav. Mini project running nodes उसमें क्या होता भाई? What is the mini project nodes? I have given the sample screens at the time of development. What is the meaning of nodes for that? I did not get it.
Hi, sir.
Hello.
Sir, on portal, I am not access to the videos. So how can to see the Kafka video, sir?
Okay, I will share that particular video.
Okay. Should I mail to Ashok?
No, not required. Sir, I will upload that link today. I will share it.
Okay, sir.
In our group, I will post it.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, hi, sir.
Sir, are we going to follow the multi-modular architecture in the major project or something
Not
else?
required, sir, because we are developing everything as a separate REST API. Na?
Okay,
We are
sir.
developing everything as a separate REST API. So then multi-module concept is not required. When you are developing a monolith application, then multi-module concept is required. But in our scenario, everything is a separate microservice. So multi-module concept is not required for that.
Sir, actually, sir, I'm feeling quite difficult to understand that multiple modules, how it's going to be deployed, and I mean, in the real time.
Sir, currently, Maven multi-module concept is outdated. Okay, you don't need to worry much about on that process, because earlier when people used it to develop monolith application, everything in one project, at that time they used it to create multiple modules. But now people are using a separate microservice. In one microservice, one REST controller, one small functionality will be available. For that, multi-modules are not required. So even if you create multiple modules, every module will be available as a separate project that you need to deploy all those jar files. Multiple jar files will be available.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Good. Yeah.
Sir, hello.
Yeah, hi.
Sir, in the Kubernetes section, you are telling that the single node cluster that would be free. So,
Minikube.
So can you conduct a session on how to create that so that we could practice it so without any worry?
Sure. Just you need to download that from your, just from Google, you can download Minikube. Minikube start. You just need to download that software and install that software. Here, if you go to Windows, that Minikube cluster will be downloaded. Click on this Windows option, start your cluster. In the Linux, in the Windows, to install Minikube latest release option, Now you can see Minikube cluster is downloaded. Once you download that cluster, just you need to go to command prompt. You need to run Minikube start command. Right? First you need to install Docker. Then you need to go for Minikube cluster. I will share a document for this. How to install Minikube in the Windows. Only for practice. Only for
Okay.
practice purpose.
Sir, the same thing can be done on the EC2.
Same thing.
Same thing we can do in the EC2.
Yeah, we can do it. We
Okay.
can do it in the EC2 as well.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Minikube. All right. So guys, from my side, I need to cover these topics. So with this, we will be completing our 23 JRTP. अरे भाई क्या notes चाहिए? Saurav, what is the meaning of first mini project notes? What is first mini project? Search application, na? Report generation, right? Yeah, that is our 8th REST API. Anyhow, we are going to develop that once again, Saurav, don't worry. The source code or the document of the mini project, that is our 8th REST API. I have given mock-up screens for the major project. If you see the report screen, that is our first mini project that we have developed. Okay, cool. Next
sir,
one.
Sir, you just forgot to write transaction management. Please
REST
conduct
template web client. We discussed it, right?
hi, sir.
Hello.
Sir, you just forgot to write transaction management, sir. Please conduct one session on that.
Transaction management.
Yes.
Okay. Transaction management. Yeah, we covered transaction management. At the rate, a transactional annotation will be available. Rollback will be available. Yeah, once again, we will write that annotation.
Okay,
Unit
sir.
or integration testing of major project. Unit testing by using JUnit. For one major project API, we can write JUnits. We will write the JUnit for that. Yeah. Integration testing means that is through Postman, we have to test it, Preeti. Integration testing means whether all the APIs are working or not. We have to test that part. All good. So total 9 things are available here. Major project, backend APIs development. Okay, we will touch that point as well. Major project, backend APIs development, Angular application development, front-end backend integration, Spring scheduler with cron expressions, Jacoco, I18N internationalization, reactive programming with mono and flux concepts. Okay, next one, client application development to access secured REST API, then transaction management. Transaction management, we are going to do that by using @transactional annotation. In the data, we are using data JPA to develop our persistence layer. In the data JPA, by default, transactions will be taken care by JPA. If you want to roll back the transaction, if you want to control them, then we can go for @transactional annotations for that. @transactional annotations for that. Okay, cool.
Hello.
Anything else, guys, apart from this?
Hello. Yeah,
Do's and don't do's, normal, that generic discussion that we need to do.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Sir, whatever the Angular video is there on YouTube, and that is enough for us, or
Sorry, can you come again?
sir, whatever the Angular video you have uploaded in YouTube, that is enough for us, or we need to?
Sir, Angular videos in the YouTube, I uploaded 20 plus videos, and evening Angular classes also going on. Are you attending that?
Yes, sir.
Then that is sufficient. For your Angular knowledge, whatever the videos I have uploaded, whatever the classes are going on, those are sufficient, sir.
Okay, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think, sir, Swagger event covered in JRTP.
Swagger documentation. Okay, sir, we will do that. Meanwhile, you can go through a Swagger video. I will also explain what is Swagger when I will write a Swagger config class when we are developing a major project. Okay. So for the Swagger, think why there is one workshop video on the Swagger. Immediately, if you want to learn, you can go through that, or else I will do that in the major project API development. Okay. So if you just type Ashok IT Swagger, you will get that video. I will also do that in the major project implementation. I will add the Swagger for our APIs.
Hello, sir.
Why?
Sir, on YouTube, is there any video of you on low-level design like class diagram, UML diagram, all those
No,
things?
sir, not there, sir. Not. I did not upload that video.
Hello,
Okay.
sir.
Why?
Sir, WinSCP and Putty are both are same.
WinSCP, Putty, both are not same, but both are used to connect with the Linux machine. WinSCP is used to transfer the files from Windows machine to Linux machine to Windows machine. Putty is used to execute the Linux commands. Putty and Mobile Extra both are same, but WinSCP is used for file transfer from Windows to Linux, Linux to Windows. If you want to transfer the files, then you will go for WinSCP. Mobile Extra and Putty both are same to execute the Linux commands. Got it?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, fine, guys. Good. Guys, these things
Sir,
are.
sir.
Yeah, tell me.
सर अगर आप थोड़ा सा एक्सेप्शन हैंडलिंग भी बता देते सर.
Okay, we will do that.
Okay.
Fine. Guys, we are going to learn these topics in our upcoming classes, right? So I'm going to cover these topics in the coming classes. So once we complete these topics, that means we can say that our batch is completed. So along with these things, we are going to learn do's and don't do's in the company. When you go for software company, what are the do's and what are the don'ts, right? And joining formalities will be available in the company. Joining formalities will be available and exit formalities will be available in the company. So at the time of joining in the company, what documents that we need to fill up, what formalities will be available on the first day in the company, what formalities will be available to leave the company. If you want to come out from the company, what are the exit formalities will be available, and HR discussion will be available. When we completed our technical interviews, then HR discussion will be there. What we need to discuss with the HR related to package, right? How to do salary discussions with the HR, that stuff we are going to understand. Fine. Day-to-day activities in the company. Day-to-day activities in the company. What are the do's and don'ts in the company? What are our joining formalities? What are our exit formalities? HR discussion in the company, and day-to-day activities in the company that we need to do. These are just theoretical discussion. Everything we can complete in one day, right? So these are just theoretical discussions. Everything we can complete in one day. Do's and don'ts, joining formalities, exit formalities, HR discussion, day-to-day activities in the company. Perfect. So these things we need to do. Guys, for major project development, it will take 1 week of time. So all the APIs, we already understood all the screens, we discussed about the requirement. So we need to design tables, I mean to say entity classes we need to design for them, binding classes we need to design for them. So once the entities and binding classes are ready, implementing the major project logic is very easy. The only thing is how many entities we have to take, how many binding classes we need to take. Once we complete entities design, binding classes design, then we can start our APIs implementation. So Angular classes are going on, components, then templates, data binding, services, routings concept will be available. Once we are done with that, then we can develop a Angular application. In the Angular, HTTP client module will be available. That HTTP client module is used to communicate with backend application. Front-end backend integration will be done by using that HTTP client module. Okay, this stuff is related to major project. These are normal topics that we need to learn. How to work with Spring Scheduler. There is a @scheduler, enable scheduling, @scheduled annotations are available. If you want to work with them, enable scheduling and @scheduled annotation is available. So when we are going for this, we need to configure cron expressions, right? When our method should execute, for that we are going to use @scheduled annotation. Then Jacoco. Jacoco is just a plugin. You don't need to write any code for the Jacoco. You just need to add one plugin in the pom.xml. You just need to add a plugin in the pom.xml. That plugin will generate a report. When Maven test goal is executed, it will generate one HTML report with a code coverage percentage. When you develop a API, you will do the unit testing for the API by using JUnit. When we write the JUnit test cases, how many lines of code is it tested as part of unit testing? That we can understand by using this Jacoco report. So you don't need to write the code for the Jacoco. You need to write the code for JUnits. Once you write the code for the JUnit, Jacoco will just generate a report to tell you how much percentage of the code is covered in the unit testing. So industry standard, 80% of the code should be covered as part of the unit testing. So next one, internationalization. What is the meaning of internationalization? Language conversion, right? So when we are developing our application, multiple users will access our application from multiple locations. We are comfortable with English, but some users are not comfortable with English. They are comfortable with Hindi. Then they will change the language to Hindi. Then our application should display the data in the Hindi language. So that is called internationalization. By using Spring Boot, we can develop I18N applications. And next one, reactive programming with the mono and flux objects. So reactive programming, basically a concept of writing the code and executing the code with the non-blocking threads. Already we have seen web client. Web client supports for reactive programming, asynchronous communication. What is the meaning of asynchronous communication? What is the meaning of asynchronous communication? Execute the code without waiting for the threads execution. Execute the code without blocking the threads. So that is a new concept introduced in the Spring 5.x version. We can do that reactive programming implementation using that mono and flux objects that are introduced in the WebFlux API. And next one, someone asked how to develop a client application to access secured REST API. For example, there is a REST API which is secured by using Spring Security. So to access that REST API, we need to send the security credentials in the request header, right? Suppose if it is a basic auth, username and password will be available. We need to send that username and password in the request header by using authorization header. For example, if that application is secured by using JWT, we have seen the provider for JWT implementation. So if I want to access a secured REST API which is using JWT, we need to send a bearer token in the request header. So header name will be authorization, header value will be bearer space token. So if you can send that request header in the request, then we can access that secured REST API. And the next one, transaction management in the Spring Boot application. In the Spring Boot application, we are using data JPA. In the data JPA, we no need to deal with the transaction in the data JPA, because whenever you perform any non-select operation, by default, it will commit the transaction of our operation. So whenever you call save method or delete method, then transaction will be auto committed. Suppose for example, whenever I am performing two operations in the same method, I'm inserting the records into two tables by using same method. After inserting the first record, transaction will be committed. But my second record is not able to insert. Second record got failed. If the second record is failed, first record also should not insert. Then we need to roll back the transaction. To do the transaction rollback, we are going to use @transactional annotation. So for the transactional annotation, we are going to configure rollback for. Rollback for is equal to exception.class. When some exception occurred, I want to roll back the transaction. So for that, there is an annotation called @transactional annotation is available. So these are generic topics that we need to discuss and this project that we need to implement. And here we are having some do's and don'ts available: joining formalities, exit formalities, HR discussion, and day-to-day activities that we are going to do in the company. These things we need to discuss, guys. So this is just a theoretical discussion. One session is sufficient in order to complete all these details. Got it? Good. Perfect. Yeah, we can implement that JWT, but generally only for the first application JWT will be implemented. All the remaining backend APIs, right? We don't share the backend API URLs to the people directly. Generally in the real time, for all the backend APIs, we can configure basic authentication. For the application which is having front end, for that JWT will be configured. So when they send a request to the front application will access the backend APIs directly, right? Correct. So here, whenever the front-end application is accessing, the URL rewriting concept will be available. Even if they access that URL directly, it will not be accessible. We have to secure that. First of all, whenever you go for Angular application, right? The whatever that you see in the front end, that is a template. If you view the source code of the template, if you go to the developer tools of the template, you can't see anything. Whatever the URLs which are available, right? Those URLs will not be displayed for them. They will see only HTML tag. That will not be displayed. You just check it once. Are they doing single page application? In that network calls URL displaying, backend URL displaying? Even if that URL is displaying, then we can secure the backend REST API with the token. Without the token, you can't access that. Yes, we can do it. Even if you do the basic auth also, without that token, without that credentials, you can't access the URL. Even if you see the URL, you can't access that. We can implement that. Front end, back end database. 3-tier statement is true. Yes, you can say that. 3-tier statement. Fine. And next one, guys. So as I told you, the companies, yesterday I got a call from the HR. Already some people attended last time. They rejected because you people don't know React. That high-tech city company. So yesterday I got the call from the HR. Now they are having 10 positions for Java backend developers. Their requirement is Spring Boot and microservices, right? So they are asking to attend the interviews today. I clearly asked them. So it is a direct technical interview on Spring Boot and microservices for the freshers, right? Java backend developers. So anybody who is interested to go for the interview today, you can go today, and tomorrow also you can attend the interviews. If you have already attended the interview in that company, I already told them that some of the people already attended the interview in the company and you people rejected because of the React.js knowledge. Now they clearly told that, so React.js is not required. We are looking for only Java backend developers with Spring Boot and microservices. If you have already attended, again you can go for that interview. So today at 3 p.m. you can go there, or tomorrow morning also if you want you can go there. Okay, today or tomorrow you can attend. The people who are in the online, but this is a face-to-face interview. And second company, that is, I told that last time, they are looking for only BTech CSE candidates. They are also having openings for Java developers. They are not bothering about much knowledge on the Spring Boot and microservices. They are bothering about only your communication. So how you are introducing about yourself, basic knowledge on the Java, communication should be good, but the constraint, BTech CSE, IT candidates can go for that. But for the first company, that nearby High-Techs, that what is the name of the company? Ediverse. Edwards. This company does not have any constraint on your qualification, your graduation year. They are checking strong technical knowledge on Spring Boot and microservices for the backend position. Today and tomorrow, interviews are conducting. Some people can go today and some people can go tomorrow for the interview. For this company name is Rev IT something is available, right? Rev IT something is available. For them, basic knowledge on the Java and Spring Boot, strong communication skills are required, and BTech CSC IT candidates they are looking. So yesterday they only called me and they told me send the candidates. They got the project. They are looking for the people. So BTech CSC people can attend these two companies. Non-IT background, non-CSC people can go for this company. How many of you can go today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you have resumes ready? Right. So today go by 3 o'clock. I will talk to her now. I will tell that these people are coming. So 5 people are coming for the interview. Is anybody planning for internship? No? Okay. Who? Okay. Yeah, the difference is somewhat the meetings, the emails, the status, that will be extra. Subject wise, same thing will be there, but the extra thing that you can get is how to collaborate with the members, how to integrate that code, how to do the live deployments, how VPN access will be available, how to work with the remote machines, VDIs will be available, that extra stuff will be there. Yeah, there is no force, guys. If anybody is really interested, then only go. I'm not forcing from my side. Tomorrow you cannot come and ask me, sir, as you said, we have joined there. So there is nothing like that. If you are really interested, then only go. There is nothing forced from my side. Yeah, today how many people, sir? I will send the information to the HR. 6, 7 people. Please give your numbers. Please note down your names and numbers. I will send the list. Biswajit, aap bhi jao, bhai. It's opportunity. So guys, it's all about whenever you are going for the fresher interview, it's all about luck. For fresher interview, all about luck. For experienced interview, it's all about subject. For experienced interview, it's all about the subject. How much subject you know, based on that you will get the job. For fresher interview, depends on the luck. Sometimes they may conduct only a test on one program and they will select. Sometimes they will ask some technical questions and they will select. Sometimes they will check your communication and they will select. So for fresher interview, we cannot predict how the interview pattern is going to happen. Some people will select the candidates based on the written test. Some people will select the candidates based on the communication. Some people will select the candidates based on the technical skills. So all these three things depends on their requirement. As I told you, this company purely depends on your communication because you need to work with US client. Communication matters here. For these people, now they are saying that only backend skills are important for candidates to work in that project development. They're saying that they got the new project. They're looking for the backend developers. 10 positions are there. You can go and attend the interview. Just check your luck. If you get selected, then fine. If not, interview experience, nothing else. Huh. To be frank, that day I went to the company. I had a discussion with the director of that company. So the problem is that company director not from the IT background. He is a chartered accountant. So there are board of directors available. 3 people are the directors for that company. 2 people are in the US. 1 person is in the India. That person chartered accountant. So he is registered in his brain. IT people can understand the projects easily. Non-IT people cannot understand the projects easily. We can't change his mindset. If he is from IT background, he will understand, right? After completion of, in my point of view, after taking the full stack training for 6 to 7 months of time, there is no difference between IT candidate, CSE candidate and mechanical candidate because same subject. So they are able to develop the projects. So if it is a pure fresher without any training, then they can keep that constraint. CSE people, mechanical people. But after taking the same training, I don't feel any difference is there. But his mind, he registered that point in his brain. I need only CSE people, IT people. They will understand about the projects easily. Okay, we can't change it. Anybody, online students also, you can attend these 2 companies, guys. For freshers, I told you several times, technical interviews, face-to-face, they are asking for the freshers. Online interviews will not be happening for the freshers. Online interviews will not happen for the freshers, only face-to-face interviews will happen. Online students, anybody who want to attend fresher interview, then you need to come here. Anybody uploaded resume with experience? For now, do one thing. Just you upload a dummy resume by keeping TCS as your client company. Just to attend 2 to 3 interviews, no need to keep your original name also. You can keep your dummy name, dummy email ID. You just prepare 3 years experience resume. You keep the client company as a TCS. When they ask about what is your payroll company, you can tell some source one technologies, whatever it is, or you can say TCS is my parent company directly. This interview we are attending just to check how experienced interviews are happening. You are not attending with your name, right? You will keep some dummy name. You keep your dummy. Even if you keep your name also, tomorrow, once you attended 3-4 interviews, you will understand what kind of questions they are asking. HR questions will be available. What is your notice period? What is your current package? What is your parent company? What is your client company? The basic, what is the address of your client company? What is the address of your parent company? So many people will get stuck with these doubts only in the initial days. So that interview fear will be available. So that is the reason you take a resume. You can keep your original name or you can keep your dummy name. It's better to keep original name only. The reason is in the video calls, they're asking to show your PAN card or Aadhaar card. Whenever the interview starts, they will ask you to show your PAN card or Aadhaar card. They will verify your name. So keep your name only, dummy email ID, new mobile number, new mail ID. Upload the resume, keep the company name as TCS. Anyhow, we cannot go to TCS with the fake experience. You keep your name and you attend the interview with the experience. Parent company, client company, you can say as TCS only. Why I am telling you is, if you upload the resume like that, you will understand what is market situation. For 3 years experience, daily, how many calls we are getting and what is the interview process. If you attend 3 to 4 interviews like that, you will understand the interview process. After attending 3-4 interviews, you can delete that account from the Naukri. You can create new account with your original details. So this just 2 weeks a trial period, just to understand what they are expecting from us, what we need to learn extra from this course, right? So if you give experienced interview, then then you will realize what kind of non-technical questions they are asking, what kind of technical questions they are asking. I request all of you upload 3+ years experience to resume in the Naukri today itself. Client company, parent company, you can keep as TCS only, no problem, because you are not going to get the job in the first attempt itself. It will take 10 attempts minimum to minimum. In the first interview, you will not get the job for sure. Even if you know the subject, you may not be able to express in the interview. So today, just blindly upload your resume in the Naukri with the TCS as your parent company and client company both. You are a TCS permanent employee. You tell them that. They will not come to your house. They will not go to TCS to verify you are TCS employee or not. Just to attend the interview, we will keep the company name as TCS. You keep that resume for 2 weeks in the Naukri. Then you will know what is the market condition, how many calls you are getting for 3+ years Java Spring Boot microservices developer. If you are getting daily 4-5 calls, that means market condition is good. You give 3-4 interviews for your skill checking. After 2 weeks, you delete that resume. You upload your resume with the original details. So that is the way to understand the process, how interviews are happening in the company. If you sit in the institute for next 3 months also, no benefit, because whatever you are learning, that is different. How you are answering what they are asking, that is important for us. So we completed resume preparation session. I have given sample resumes also. You take that resume, blindly upload your resume today in the Naukri. That's it. You just upload it. Daily you update your resume and you check it. How many calls you are getting? How many emails you are getting? You respond to those emails. You apply for the jobs in the Naukri. Just to check it for 2 weeks. Then you will realize what is the interview process and you will understand whether you are eligible for experienced position or not. You just check it. You validate yourself. You just validate yourself. If you attend 2 interviews, your mindset will change. Okay, I have to improve a lot. I need to practice how to answer the questions in the interview. What kind of questions they are asking. If I explain 100 interview questions also, after 1 week, you will forget that. But if they ask a question in the interview, if you are not able to answer, for next 1 year, you will remember that question. Okay, that day they asked this question, I was not able to answer, I have to read that. So that makes a lot of difference. If you attend 4 interviews, minimum 20 questions, 4 into 20, 80 interview questions you will understand. You will never forget those questions in your life. At least for next 2 to 3 years, you will remember that. So that attending the interviews is very important than attending the classes at this moment, because we are at the end of the course. If it is starting or middle of the course, I will not tell you to attend the interview. We are at the end. Just if you see, all these topics within 2 to 3 days will be completed. This topic within 1 week, one day it will complete. 3 days plus 1 day, 4 days. The project implementation 1 week, it will be completed. So maximum 10 days, we will be completing the course. Right? So within these 10 days, if you attend at least 3-4 interviews, then you will get the clarity how we have learned, what else we need to learn, what we need to improve. I have seen nobody came and asked me, sir, I want to give the mock interview. Nobody asked me that. I want to give the mock interview. One day I asked one person, Sai. From that day, I did not see that person in the class. That was the last day. That was the last day. He is not coming. He got the job. Okay, good. Anybody interested for mock interview? No one. Yeah, you prepare. We will take that. Okay, we will do that normally. In the class, we will do the interview then. In the class itself, we will do that. Sure. Anybody else who is ready for the mock interview? Online people. Digambar Chavan is ready. I will do one thing. I will send one form in the group. Who is interested to give the mock interviews? Just fill up your details. Based on that, I will prepare the schedule to take your mock interviews. Okay. So today only, I will send that form. We will conduct the mock interview, guys. Right? And I'm requesting all of you, please upload your profile today. Please upload your profile today. Don't worry about, sir, I'm not prepared. Sir, I am not ready with the interview preparation and all. No problem. Even if you spend 1 month also, you will not get that confidence. So if you start giving the interviews, then that maturity will come. Whatever the mistakes you are doing in the interview, those mistakes you will not repeat in the next interview. If you are attending the classes, if you are listening, after 1 year also, course will not be completed. There is no end for the Java. There is no end for the Java. Our ultimate goal, whatever we have learned with this, are we able to crack the interviews or not? Because nobody knows everything. Nobody knows everything. So the interview process, one company requirement will not match with another company requirement. We have seen 2 companies, freshers. Some company expecting strong technical skills, some company expecting strong communication skills. So tomorrow when you attend the experienced interview, sometimes within 20 minutes your interview will be completed. You may get the job. That depends on the luck. That depends on the luck. That depends on the mood of the person who is taking that interview. So you no need to be very strong in technical with all the scenarios, with all the concepts to get the job. That depends on the person who is taking the interview. That depends on the requirement they have, the position that they are having in the project. Got it? Yeah. So I want all of you, please upload your resume today and let me know how many calls you are getting per day, so that we can evaluate the market situation, how the market condition is there. If you attend 4 interviews, you will get a lot of maturity. Those interviews are just for dummy, not to get the job, just to understand industry expectation. So when you will understand the industry expectation, if I tell industry expectation, I will understand my company requirement. I will tell with respect to my company, with respect to my project. So there are thousands of companies available, which I did not know, which I did not work. How I will know about those company requirements? I don't know. I know about just 3-4 companies which I worked on. What those people will consider to take the interviews. What about other companies? We don't know. How we will know? If we attend the interview or if we work in that company, then we will know that company requirement. So attending the interview is one of the best way to improve yourself. So I am requesting all of you, upload your profile and attend the interviews. Because within 10-15 days, our syllabus will be completed. After that, You will not come to the institute. Even if you come, sometimes I may not be available. Then you will miss that communication. So if you attend the interviews now, if any question which you are not able to answer, you can ask me, sir, yesterday I attended an interview. These are the questions they have asked. And recently, one of my friend wife, she is from 23 JRTP. Her name is Sindhu. She got the job. She got the 2 offer letters with the fake experience. He shared the questions also. I forgot to share in the group. He's my Java classmate. When we attended Java training, his wife attended 23 JRTP and 20 your batch people, your batch only. She attended Spring Boot microservices and Java project. She got the 2 offer letters with the 3.2 years of experience. Let me check it once. Yeah. He shared the questions that they asked in the interview. 26 questions he shared. Where you have used collections in your project? That is the first question. OOPS principles. Second question. Third question, where you have used polymorphism in your project? Fourth question, how you will fix the bug which is raised by the QA team? QA team will raise a bug in the Jira. How you will fix that bug? Fourth one, what will you do when a story is assigned to you in the Jira tool? What you will do when a story is assigned to you in the Jira tool till it is to the QA? What are the stages of the story in the Jira? Initially, new status, in progress status, done status will be available. What is the status of your story in the Jira? What are the operations performed in the Git repository after a development completed when you make the code changes in the repository? What are the operations that will be performed in the Git repository once you make some code change? How you will provide a documentation for your task before it is into the QA? Whatever the development you have done, how you will prepare a documentation for that task before giving your project to the QA? How can we validate in microservice if you pass null value in the request? Your microservice is getting a request from UI application with some data in the request. If you get a request with the null values in the fields, email ID, first name, last name, mobile number. For example, if mobile number comes null in the request, how you will validate that in your microservice? How you will handle logging in your project? That is one question. 11th question, have you aware of recent log4j vulnerability? In the log4j 1.x, there is a vulnerability. So that is rectified in the log4j 2.x version. How you will compare your changes with the previous code in the Git repository? So you have committed one file yesterday, you are committing one file today. How you will compare yesterday changes and the today's changes? Synchronize workspace, right? If I done a payment, amount has been deducted, but the transaction has been failed. How can you handle the situation in the payment microservice? So here there is a microservice to transfer the amount from one account to another account. From my account, amount is deducted, but amount is not added to your account. Roll back the transaction, transaction annotation. How you will handle that? There is a question on that. What is the difference between data JPA, Spring JDBC and Hibernate? What is the difference between JDBC, Hibernate and Spring Data JPA? Next one. If we offer manager role, how you will handle? If we recruit you as a manager, how you will handle that position? That question to check your behavior. How can we configure 2 databases in one microservice? How to work with multiple databases in the Spring Boot application? You don't know? What is this video? How to configure multiple databases in the Spring Boot. Within 13 minutes, I explained how to, that means basically we will have application and properties file. In that, we will configure data source properties. If you configure the data source properties, connection pool will be created. Then it can connect with the database. But requirement is, I want to connect with the 2 databases in one project. Then how you will deal with that in the Spring Boot? So that is very famous interview question. How to configure multiple databases in the Spring Boot application. Within 10 minutes, I explained a project with multiple database connections. So all these things, guys, you will understand once you attend the interview. I can't teach you everything available in the Java. So if you attend the interview, then you will understand these kind of questions. So today you understood one interview question. So you need to prepare. Tomorrow when you go for the interview, if the same question comes, happily you can answer that. The next one, 17th question, explain your project architecture. We discussed about major project, that architecture. Explain request processing flow in the microservices. Whenever your project is developed in the microservice architecture, how a request will be processed. Request will go to API gateway. API gateway will discover our API in the service registry. From the service registry, it will go to the particular microservice. Their dispatcher servlet will be available. Handler mapper will be available. Controller will be available. That complete request processing flow you need to explain. Explain recent changes which you have worked in your project. What is the latest development you have done in your project? That is behavioral question. So you should not get confused with that. Immediately you can tell that in the correspondence API, we have a batch to generate the notice. I have changed that notice to, I want to add one new field in the PDF. That was the requirement we got. We changed that. Something should be there in your brain immediately to answer that question. If you take 2 minutes of time to answer that question, gone. Because the question is, what is the recent change you worked in your project? What is the recent code you have changed in your project? So immediately you need to give the answer. What are the challenges you faced in your project when you are using microservices? What are the challenges you faced when you are using microservices? What is the difference between priority and severity in the story? Whenever you create a story in the Jira, high priority will be available, critical severity will be available. What is the difference between priority and severity for the bugs? Right. Next one, what is the difference between bug and vulnerability? What is the difference between bug and vulnerability? What is the bug? Some exception that is going to occur. Vulnerability, nothing but security issue, code security issue. How to perform Spring batch operation? How to perform Spring batch operation? We discussed in the Spring Boot class. I have 10,000 records in the Excel file. I want to load them into database. For that, we are using Spring batch operation. Do you know how to write Jenkins CI/CD pipeline? We have seen CI/CD pipeline. A freestyle project you can create. CI/CD pipeline also you can create to deploy our project. To automate build and deployment process, we can go for CI/CD. Right? Write JUnit test cases. How to write the JUnit test cases for the REST API? JUnit test cases by using mocking. Sorry, right. In the notepad, you need to share the screen and you need to write it. Next one. Or else you need to tell what are the annotations that we have used in the JUnit test cases. What is the purpose of mock objects? You need to explain them. If they satisfy with your theoretical answer, no need to write. If they're not satisfied, open the notepad, write a method, @test annotation, create the mock object. That coding should be there in your brain. And next one, what are the design patterns you have used in your project? Right? Circuit breaker design pattern, API gateway design pattern, service discovery design pattern, singleton design pattern, cache design pattern. These all are the design patterns that we have used in the project. So total 26 questions they asked. With these 26 questions, she got 2 jobs. These 26 questions asked in the 2 different companies, not in one company. She summarized all the interview questions and she has given the list for me. So she got the 2 jobs. Third job offer letter is in the hold. Third job offer letter is in the hold. She is from our batch only. Package he did not send me. I will ask him. No, she is not in Hyderabad. She is nearby Vijayawada. So she is my friend wife. He is my friend. Right. So I will ask. So that is the difference, guys. She attended the interviews along with our course. So we did not develop the major project. We did not use the Angular topics. We did not cover that, but she got the job. So that's what I'm telling you. Don't wait till the course is completed. If you start giving the interviews, if you have luck, if you have that good technical skills, then you will get the job. So today I will ask her to share the package, how much she got, right? So questions already she shared. I will send that message in our group. That file is available. I will share that file in our group. So that is what all of you prepare your resume, upload that in the Naukri, just start giving the interviews. So today 26 questions we got. Some of the questions you don't know answers for them. You will prepare. Next time when you go for the interview, these questions will help you. Like this, if you attend 5 interviews, 5 into 20, you will have 100 questions with you. With those 100 questions, you can get the job in some other company. So interview experience matters a lot to get the job. So don't think that I will learn everything. Once the SAR completed the project, then I will go for the interview. At that time, in the first interview, you will not get the job because project I am developing, not you. That is the difference. If you develop that project, then you will get that confidence. Then you can answer that question. So there is a question. What is the recent code change you have done in the project? If you done that project, you can tell something. I have implemented correspondence API to generate the PDF. So we generated the PDF with these fields. So 1 week back, we got a requirement to add another field in the PDF. I have done the code changes. I have tested. Now PDF is generating with a new field also. So like this, immediately you should have something in your brain to answer that. You should not take much time for that. What are the challenges you have faced in the project? What are the design patterns you have used in the project? How to write the test cases? What is bug? What is vulnerability? In these 26 questions, I think 2 to 3 questions which we did not cover. But multiple databases topic. Multiple databases topic we did not cover. Out of 26, 23 to 24 questions we discussed in the class. But for some questions, you don't know the answers. Topic wise, they are covered. I think 2 to 3 topics are not covered in that list. As I told you, everything we can't cover because there is no end for the Java. There is no end for the Spring Boot. It's a vast. I don't know everything in Java, but I'm surviving in the company from 10 years. Maybe some questions she might have not answered. I will talk to her. I will ask her tomorrow to join the class. She will share her experience. Okay. I will ask her to join the class tomorrow. Is she available in the class today? I don't know. No, she is not there. Her name is Sindhu. I will ask her to join the class tomorrow. All good. So you see, they asked questions related to Jenkins CI/CD pipeline as well. Actually, that task will be done by DevOps engineers earlier. But today, they are expecting from the developers also to write the CI/CD pipelines. Did you practice CI/CD pipeline with the Docker integration? In the interview, if they ask that question, we are lucky because we can write the syntax of the pipeline. Can I write the syntax? Stages, pipeline, stages, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. If they see that you are writing the syntax of the pipeline immediately, they will get impressed. Okay, this person knows DevOps tools also. They're asking questions on the Git. They're asking questions on the Jenkins. I think they did not ask anything on the Docker and Kubernetes. There is no question from that. But that is an added advantage for us. So we can say that if they ask a question on the Jenkins, we can drag them into Docker. In my Jenkins pipeline, I used Docker as well to deploy the application. Then they will ask, what is Docker? So you need to drive the interview. So that's what attending the interview will give you a lot of confidence, guys. So at least 5 to 6 interviews if you attend, then you will get the maturity. I'm not saying that you will get the job in the first interview or second interview. It may take 10 interviews to get that job for experienced people. So a lot of questions they may ask which we did not cover in the class as well, because Java or project software industry, there is no limit for that. There is no limit. Even if I teach the classes for next 3 months also, I can't cover everything which is asking in the companies because I don't know. what they are going to ask in that interview. Simple example. Today I have an interview schedule in my company. I have to take an interview for a person who is having 5 years experience. What questions I'm going to ask? Nothing is there in my brain. Nothing is there in my brain. Based on the person response, the next question I'm going to frame. First, I will ask self-introduction, roles and responsibilities, project architecture. Based on the answers he is giving, then I will plan my next question. Based on your answer, my next question will be available. In the company, nobody will tell you need to ask these questions for the candidate. They will simply tell, Ashok, today you have your interview at 4 o'clock. Candidate resume we will get in the email as an attachment. We'll see the resume for 2 minutes, then we'll start the interview. After interview completed, we need to send the feedback. Technical skills, communication skills, behavior skills. Rating will be there, 1 to 5. Technical skills rating, 1 to 5. 1 is least, 5 is the top. Behavioral skills, communication skills. Based on that, HR will decide whether this person should be considered or not, based on the ratings that we are going to provide. Yeah. Good. So please upload, my sincere request, please upload your resume today itself. Keep your original name only, no problem. Just give 5 interviews. Your client company, parent company, you no need to tell anything. Just to tell that I'm direct employee for TCS, no problem. They are not going to check whether you are belongs to TCS or not. Our main agenda to understand what they are asking in the interview, what questions they are asking, how you are able to answer. When you are giving the interview, it is a face-to-face video call. Mostly in the Teams or Zoom interview will be there. At the time of the interview, keep your mobile recording. Just cite to your system, so that you can record the questions and answers what you are giving. After that interview, you will listen what is your performance. How many questions they asked, how many you answered, how many you are not able to answer. After interview completion, listen to that video, note down the questions, whatever the questions they asked. Then check if you don't know something, you just check for the answers. Got it? Fine. So please start attending the interviews, guys. Anything else? Guys, tomorrow I will not be available. Okay, tomorrow I will not be available. Project implementation will start from the next Monday. Next week we are going to start the implementation. Tomorrow I will not be available. So this week we are going to take the classes on the pending topics whatever we have apart from the project implementation. So meanwhile, you people start doing the practice on the Angular topics and prepare your interview questions, upload your resume and see some mock interviews in the YouTube, Java mock interviews. Not only our videos, some other mock interviews also will be there in the YouTube. You just go through those videos and understand how they are asking, they are giving the answers. You prepare for them. So this week I will try to complete these topics. In the next week, we will start our project implementation. Okay. So meanwhile, don't neglect your Angular practice. Without practicing Angular, you can't understand the full stack development. Good. Fine. We'll continue day after tomorrow. So I want everybody to upload the resume by today. Please do that. You will get some experience on the interview. Thank you, guys. Yeah, Niranjan, Ranjan Sahu, you can go for the interview. The people who want to attend the interview, so complete your lunch quickly and start by 1 o'clock or 1:30. So at least by 2 o'clock, 2:30, you need to reach the company. Address already these people know who already attended. Go for that. Yeah. Anybody can attend that interview, guys? Yeah, you are from JRTP also, you can attend. Abhilash, yeah, come to institute. People are here, they will send the address. Someone please send the address in the group. Online, offline? I will share that address. You post in offline, I will share in the online also. Okay. Tomorrow also you can attend. Tomorrow go by 11 o'clock. Tomorrow there is no class. If anybody want to go tomorrow, they can go by tomorrow 11 o'clock. People who want to go today, just after lunch completion, you can go for that. Thank you.